All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the 2026 Stunt Stampede. It's a beautiful sunny day here in San Luis Obispo, California at Cal Poly University. You get the privilege today to listen to some alumni. My name is Jamie Jennings, and I am joined here with Brenna Foster. Say hi, Brenna.
Hi, everyone.
I graduated from the Cal Poly Stunt program in 2020.
And I graduated in 2024.
Yeah, so we are just two girls that love stunt, love this program, and we're super excited to spend the day with you.
Yes.
Okay, we're getting our first game started with the Cal Poly Mustangs versus the Cal Baptist University Lancers.
This is a top 3 D1 matchup this year, so a lot at stake for rankings for nationals.
Yeah, this is Cal Poly's first year as a D1 program, so they moved over divisions this year, so it's been really interesting to watch this program compete in this against these new teams and see where they land out.
Yeah, very exciting.
We've got both teams lined up for the coin toss. The home team is going to call for heads or tails, and then they choose if they want to keep possession or defer it to the away team, which is the Lancers, and whoever starts with possession in the first half is then going to swap possessions, and the other team will start off with possession for the second half for jumps and tumbling.
You can see part of our Mustang band in the back there. Cal Poly has a very large Mustang band. Usually our whole band will be out at Cal Poly football games. We've got some of them here today. They're always great supporters. We love having them around. Nice to have them at a tournament.
Yeah, the Cal Poly band always brings amazing energy. They
For sure.
know how to fill the room.
Yes. Looks like the Lancers have won the toss. They are choosing to keep possession, so they'll start with it in the first half. And Cal Poly will start with possession in the second half.
Our first quarter is going to start with partner stunts. They will do 4 different routines for partner stunts, and the possession's going to go back and forth no matter who wins the points.
Looks like we've got a face-off here in the middle. Who's going to run back to the sideline first? This is CBU's standard, as they like to wait out the other team. Cal Poly's not taking it on their home field.
No, they're not. They're standing firm.
Loving this competitive energy from this top 3 D1 matchup.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a fun day, I can tell you that.
A Mustang's never conquered. They're not going to give up right here.
And isn't that the truth? Yeah. This is getting a little intense here.
Yeah, there is a rule that the ref can call a delay of game, which would result in 1 technical foul point awarded to the other team. So whoever she calls the delay of game on, other team would receive 1 point even before any rounds have been played. I've never seen that happen before, but
That is fascinating.
the Mustangs are not backing down on their home court,
No,
home
they
mat.
are not.
We've got a large crowd in here today too.
Yeah, we're almost packed over here.
Lots of Mustang and Lancers fans filling the home bleachers.
Yeah. Well, Cal Baptist is what, a 3-hour drive from San Luis Obispo, so they have a huge turnout for this tournament. Their fans do travel far for their games.
For sure,
They are very, very loyal and dedicated. But this is just a jaunt up the road for them.
And this is the second year that the Mustangs have hosted this tournament here.
Yeah.
The Stunt Stampede, as we're calling it. So this is the second annual Stunt Stampede. Looks like
shaking hands.
Maybe we're coming to a truce in the middle here.
There
we go. Good compromise made there.
Yes, I think both teams are eager to get started now.
For sure, for sure. Hopefully they bring this energy throughout the whole game. Get some good close rounds played here.
All right, we're starting out with partner stunt 5.
This routine is new this year. It's one of my favorites. It's going to start with this unique entry into a hand-in-hand that I really like.
A little timing difference there.
Nice low to high full arounds by both teams. I love that little front flip dismount. That's new this year.
It is very fun. Wow, that was coming out of the gate very strong. 2 very clean routines from both teams on both sides, besides that little timing difference.
Great routine to start out with. Lots of energy in the room.
It's been about a month since Cal Poly has competed on the mat against another team. CBU recently traveled. I can't remember where they traveled to.
Yes. Were they in Kentucky last weekend? Kentucky hosted a big tournament. Oh, they were in Nashville, actually.
They did go to Nashville. You are right.
Yes.
Point awarded to CBU.
Coach Brandon's really hyping up his CBU fans right now, trying to get them involved in the game.
If there's anyone that knows how to bring energy, it is Brandon.
That is for sure.
A little bit of strategy with calling these lower level routines. Both these teams know that they're going to put almost a perfect routine out there. So the goal is probably to tie.
Slight bobble over on Cal Poly's side. Yeah, with those lower level routines, the difficulty being lower, it's a little bit easier to focus on the technique, hitting extra clean. So the expectation with, those lower level routines for these high level teams would be that, they're hitting them pretty close to flawless.
Yeah, and sometimes those lower level routines, your adrenaline is so high, it's almost easier to make a mistake. Within 2. That is a new rule this year. So if Brenna has much more experience in officiating and referee than I do, but that is a new way that they score these routines this year. If one team is within 1 minor, I believe, or 2 minors.
2 deduction points, then that team would be awarded 1 point. The team who won the point gets 2 points. And Cal Poly is putting out partner stunt 8. Let's see, this is going to be a front handspring 1.5 up. Super difficult skill. Cal Poly saved it, keeping it up in the air. Nice double downs from both teams.
looked like the Cal Poly Stunt group made a call right there not to throw that hand in hand and just finish that routine nice and safe.
Yep. Always nice to put things out on the mat. That's the way that you improve, is you go out there, you try, you put what you can out with modifications if you need to.
And the point for round 3 goes to the Mustangs are called routine.
Here comes partner stunt 3. Back in my day on the team, partner stunt 3 was always a favorite.
Yeah. Solid all around from both teams. That could be another one, maybe within 2, maybe a tie. Now that new rule within 2 is new this year, so we're seeing a lot higher of scores since the amount of available points has basically doubled.
And the point for round 4 goes to the Lancers. At the conclusion of the first quarter, it is Lancers 5, Mustangs 1.
All right, there goes the end of quarter 1. So we can talk about some fun facts about both of these colleges because they have some interesting histories. Cal Poly is a learn by doing school. I definitely know. I was a dairy major when I was here, so I had my hands milking cows the first week of classes. So your experience, Brenna.
Yeah, Cal Poly's definitely learn by doing, and before I came here, I wasn't quite sure what that would mean, but they really put that motto into effect.
Absolutely. This location of our school is 10 minutes away from the beach, too. I know I did grow up in San Luis Obispo, and so staying close to the beach was very important to me.
Yep, I was at the beach this morning. Me, along with 2 of my other alumni friends, we went for a walk on the beach this morning, got some coffee. There's an abundance of things that you can do in San Luis Obispo. You will never, ever be bored if you come to Cal Poly, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, and it's a beautiful 75 degrees today. I'm sure the beach was just a lovely morning.
Yeah, super good weather today.
And we have CBU. CBU was founded in 1950, and it originally only had 42 students and was called California Baptist College. They are still a private university. They became a full-blown university in 1998, and they definitely specialize in their athletics. They have many D1 programs that are fully recruited.
For sure, yeah. I know their basketball teams both made it to the NCAA tournament this year, so they always have premier basketball teams. No football team there, but definitely stunt is one of their main sports also, and they also have a competitive cheer team that competes at NCAA Daytona, so they've got a plethora of scholarships available for cheer and stunt athletes.
Yeah, and that's something that's new moving into the 2026-2027 year for Cal Poly. They are going to be a fully recruited stunt team. The cheer and stunt team are separating. They are going to be completely different entities, which was not the case when you or I were on the team.
Yep. Yes. We all did it. Both of us did it all when we were here.
Yep.
Cheer and stunt, football games, basketball games,
Yep.
stunt tournaments. Yep.
August to May.
Full year. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how good Cal Poly can get now that we're going to be fully funded D1.
Recruited.
Yep,
Yeah.
recruited, scholarships.
Oh, Brandon had to think about that for a second.
Yeah, he didn't seem very confident in 6.
Pyramid 6.
This pyramid is always an interesting one.
Yes, to say the least. They get really creative with these upper
Yes.
level pyramids, which I always loved. I was a middle layer, and They just continue to get so creative with how they're going to get those top tops on those totems.
Yep. You always think they can't find another way to stack 3 people high, and they find another way.
They sure do.
Nice Arabian baskets from both teams.
I love those pike opens.
Now, this routine features a lot of specialty baskets.
Cal Poly's got a little lean on that 2-2-1. And they used to judge basket height, but they don't judge basket height anymore when they are concluding who's going to get the point.
That is correct, yeah. Just technique and execution, timing.
And the point for round 1 goes to the Mustangs. The Mustangs call routine 4.
I feel like Pyramid 4 always has a toe pitch to skinny in it.
Yep.
Nice and consistent. And that's the skill they're going to start out with right here. Oh, actually, it's not a toe pitch. They're going from a load position. Beautiful layout baskets back there. Very clean ending structures.
So yeah, with these pyramid routines, starting with 4 is when they start to be fully college level skills. Pyramid 1 and 2 are still gonna have some more elite high school level skills, and then 3 is a little bit of a mix, and then once you get to 4, that is completely 100% college skills. Looks like CBU is called 8. So this is the most difficult pyramid. This is a repeat routine, so this is their 2nd year perfecting this. Oh, looks like Brandon needs a second to think about it. Taking a 30-second timeout. Another interesting thing about stunt is if you call a routine and then you call a timeout, you can change the routine number. So if Brandon decided right now, oh, I'm not really feeling 8, he could change it to 1 or 6 or whatever routine he would like. So it's always interesting to see here if he'll change the routine, or if they're feeling good with 8, if they'll stick with that.
Oh yeah, looks like they're probably going to call it. Maybe because Cal Poly did not put anything out on the floor and they were going to forfeit it. Oh nope, they're still doing 8.
And in a forfeit situation, even with the other team not taking the mat, the Lancers will still have to perform in under 12 deduction points in order to receive the point for this round. Nice first structures. Also going to see a super elite basket here, which will be a ball X full. Number 20 has a very beautiful ball X full basket.
Oh, the height is beautiful. Very good technique.
Very solid ending structure. And a fun fact about that basket is it is actually illegal now in cheer for all girl. It is only, yeah, it is only legal in stunt.
Wow.
So if there's any cheer team, college cheer teams out there, yeah, that is not a legal basket anymore for all girl. But we are bold and brave here, so we are doing hard things.
As we should. These are some, as you can tell from even just watching any of these levels, but watching 8, those are some elite skills, and so they are really showing the best athletic ability of these athletes out there.
nice ball X baskets all around. That looks like that could have been one team out there.
I was thinking the same thing.
Here's your toe pitch to
There's,
Skinny.
yes. Pull a heel stretch. Now, Brenna, I have a question because you do officiate, so you have more information on this. So in the 2-2-1s, you saw CBU. The top had her feet about shoulder width apart, and Cal Poly didn't. That's just a preference, right? That's not something that they judge?
Correct, yeah, fully preference, not something that's officiated.
Thank you.
We're at halftime already. First half flew by.
12-4. CBU is notorious for shutting out a lot of teams, and so Cal Poly is really making a good run for it with their 4 points so far.
Definitely. And you're hearing in the back the Cal Poly fight song. This is Ride High.
It's one of my favorite songs of all time. All right, Brenna, well, we got about 10 minutes, so we could take a little walk down memory lane. Brenna and I did not cheer together. We fully missed each other in different eras of this stunt team.
Yep.
So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you did on this team? What was your role?
Yeah, so I was a main base. I tumbled a little bit, but not as much as Jamie. You were in a lot of the tumbling routines. I was mainly a main base, so I was in most of the partner stunts as a main base, and then in pyramids, I was mostly a thrower, so throwing the top onto the structures. I threw a lot of baskets, a lot of baskets. But yeah, mostly basing. I loved pyramids. That was my favorite. I loved trying new pyramids, high-level pyramids, 7 and 8. It was sometimes very scary trying new skills, but it always felt so good when you finally hit one for the first time.
There's a thrill that you will just really never feel again once you graduate of hitting, especially a higher level pyramid for the first time, and then over and over and over again.
That is for sure. Pyramids are also nice because they incorporate the most athletes of any quarter. So as everybody saw, there was 16 athletes out there, whereas for tumbling, there's only ever 7. Partner stunts, 4, 8, or 12. So a lot of people get a chance to be in pyramids, which is nice. And it's nice to feel like you're out there with 15 other people. Whereas a lot of times, with tumbling, it's everybody's all eyes on you. And, if you make a mistake, it's completely on you. And partner stunts, it's really just you and your group out there, especially when we get to, 7 and 8, and there's only one group out there. That is the most, nerve-wracking, sweaty. My hands would get so sweaty to have to use chalk. I was always so nervous for those higher level partner stunts. No matter how solid we had them, that always made me the most nervous.
Yeah, see, I was never in a partner stunt group where we were the only group out there. I was, I guess you would say, the second tier stunt group. Usually I was a side base, and so I went back when I cheered, we didn't even have 8 routines. My first couple of years there was only 6, and then I believe my last year was the first time we had 7 routines.
Yes, and they used to do the surprise routine for nationals.
Yes.
I never had that, but I've heard you guys mention that before. I think they should bring that back. I think that's creative and fun and gives teams something to work on towards the end of the season. That's like,
yeah, about 2. So if you were in the top 4 and you basically got to go, I mean, other teams could go to nationals too. It wasn't just the top 4, but basically the top 4 were, pretty much expected to be there. I don't know if I would say required. I'm not too sure about that, but 2 weeks before nationals, they would give us routine 8, and it was usually a level 4 or 5 difficulty. And I remember the last time we went to nationals, pyramids, I remember it so distinctly because it was actually so hard. It was the beginning structure was a front handspring up to skinny.
wow, that's pretty hard
From the back.
We had that in Pyramid 7 last year when I was on the team. So yeah, that's a harder skill for a level 4 or 5-ish routine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, but also back in the day when I was cheering, when 6 was the highest level.
True. So
4 and 5
4 or 5 was like equivalent to 6 or 7. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think they should bring that back. I mean, stunt, we keep changing every year. This new within 2 rule is new.
Yeah, there's new. Yeah, every year they're bringing some new rules, and next year they're going to do conferences.
Yes, there's actually a conference tournament this weekend. I can't, it might be the West Coast Conference. It's a Division II conference with Jessup, Vanguard, Fresno Pacific. They're all at Fresno Pacific right now doing their conference championship tournament.
Yeah, this stunt is growing. I remember, so when I was in high school, Annette, who's the head coach of Cal Poly, she was my high school coach, and she did a lot to bring Cal Poly, the sport itself, just in the development of it. It was still...
For sure. She is one of the originals of the sport. Cal Poly was there in the very first year of stunt. We were at the very first game, if I'm remembering that correct.
Yes, I wasn't on the Cal Poly team that year, but my senior year of high school was the first high school stunt game to happen in California, and it was San Luis Obispo against Galt Liberty Ranch. And it was one game. And we learned the routines in 3 weeks. And I recently found the videos, and those are staying hidden because no one needs to see that. But even in I was on the team for 5 years. So in my 5 years on the Cal Poly program, we leaps and bounds how the sport changed. It was,
for sure,
our program was still doing competitive cheer. We were going to cheer competitions in Florida still for UCA, and we had game day and all this. And then this sport has just developed so far to, like, every single year there's new colleges that are starting new programs, and it's just been amazing to watch how all of this starts. Because it really starts with a dream and a bunch of girls and a coach that are dedicated, and
for sure,
it has really come leaps and bounds as we're watching them tumble, pun intended.
Yes. It's very nice to see Cal Poly, full varsity sport on campus now, since they were one of the original teams. They've been working towards this for 16 years, so.
Yeah, almost 2 decades. I get jealous because these girls now, they have a locker room, they have weight training, and it makes me so happy to see them treated as such equivalent athletes on campus, because it took a lot of fight to get there.
Yep. Yeah, so many resources they have now. It's amazing.
And they deserve it. They have priority registration now, and that was something that I didn't even get to see the priority registration.
Yes, that is a perk. Yes.
And speaking of that, Cal Poly is, as a whole, they're in a transition right now because they have been on the quarter system since...
Yeah, the only California state school on the quarter system, and now they're transitioning over to semester system starting in the fall of 2026. Yeah.
So these athletes that you're seeing out here today, they're going to get a very short summer.
Yes.
About a month and a half.
Yeah. Being on quarter system, Cal Poly's finals week and commencement usually don't end until mid-June, like June 16th.
Yeah.
So that is going to be like a 2-month summer. Another interesting fact is Cal Poly alumni Victor Glover was a D1 football player and wrestler at Cal Poly. He earned an engineering degree here, and he just launched, I believe, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, on that 10-day mission to orbit the moon. And we have not had a space mission to orbit the moon in decades. So that's awesome that a Cal Poly alumni, he's piloting that mission.
And he was, I've seen that all over the news. The community here is so incredibly proud to have an alumni and a student athlete do something so historic. So that is incredible. I had some friends that were in the aerospace engineering program when I was here, and that is no joke of a program.
Yep. But yeah, Cal Poly is known for its engineering. We have all different types.
Civil, industrial.
Biomedical, electrical. Talk about learn by doing.
Ag engineering. Yeah.
They've got some amazing labs. They do a lot of amazing projects out here.
Oh, we're coming down to the last minute here. So we are about to start our jumps and tumbling quarter, which was one of my favorites. I did love tumbling. I was in every single tumbling routine.
Yeah, this is more Jamie's expertise than mine.
I do love tumbling. And like you were saying, tumbling was really individual, which was interesting because I loved tumbling. Pyramids was my favorite quarter, though, 100%.
I agree. Pyramids was definitely my favorite quarter, too.
I was a middle layer, so I sat actually. Brittany Thompson, who's standing as the assistant coach on the sideline for Cal Poly, she was always my bottom base, and she is still one of my best friends because you can't.
We love Brittany.
We do love Brittany. I stood on her shoulders for about 4 years, or 3 or 4 years, and we got very close, to say the least. But yeah, fighting for those pyramids is just such a rush, and having a girl thrown on you while you're trying to stay on top of someone else is a unique experience.
Yes. Yes, and coming from an official's point of view, these two college teams have, I believe they're the 2 best tumbling technique teams in the whole country. So I think if you're a high school team or a team just starting out and you're looking at what should my back handspring look like, you look at all of these girls, especially number 8 on Cal Poly. She's got some amazing technique. She's worked really hard on it.
She actually, she's also from San Luis Obispo, and so we grew up going to the same gymnastics gym, and she was a very elite gymnast. I can't remember what level she ended up quitting at, but she's a twin sister, and they both competed on the girls' team for Central Coast Gymnastics. And so when she discovered cheerleading, she could still tumble and stunt and do pyramids. She was so happy. So her technique is almost flawless every time.
Yes. Yeah, she's a senior now on Cal Poly, so been working towards that for 4 years. But as you could see, that was a lower level routine, lots of standing back handsprings. You could see all 7 girls on both teams, ankles together, toes pointed, knees together. That's really what the officials look for. That's what you should be striving for. No steps.
Actually, I do have a question. So in high school this year, they allow each athlete a step. One step without it being a minor. Am I correct in that or no?
I have not heard that.
That's what was told to me. I could be totally wrong, though.
That could be a difference in conferences, maybe. I mostly officiate up in Northern California. But definitely in college, no steps.
That's what
No mistakes
absolutely
allowed.
not allowed.
That is interesting.
So in these tumbling routines, they get so nitty-gritty. You have a count to start your hurdle, a count to put your hands on the ground, a count for your feet to land. If it is a step-out skill, you have a count for each foot to hit the ground. That's pretty good on both sides.
Yes. Yeah, as you were saying, the 8 count sheets are very technical. There is a count for everything, and everything has a count, as we like to say.
Everything does have a count, and if it's not on the count sheets, then the teams themselves will assign it.
Yes. A new thing this year that's also being officiated is the formations during tumbling routines and pyramids. So that's a new thing they added, was during the transitions, we're now officiating formations in the middle of the routine, which we never used to do before.
Yeah, it used to just be the beginning and the ending structure. And so if you look at the little hash marks on both sides, they have specific spots where each person lines up.
Correct.
Ooh, they tied that. Cal Poly's making a little comeback here in their tumbling.
Yeah, Cal Poly is very strong in quarter 3. Tumbling has been a come-up quarter for us the past couple years.
Yeah, without being able to recruit, the quarter 3 really depended on if we had girls that got into Cal Poly and had a full.
100%.
If no one got into Cal Poly themselves and didn't have a full, we had to modify it. There was years where we didn't have a full to put out there.
Yep.
call that sticky. All feet together, no steps. That was a sticky routine.
Routine 2 also happens to be my favorite music. I don't know why, I just love that music. That's my favorite one. And that's also part of my favorite thing about stunt is every year half of the routines change, which means half of the music's change. And that's always fun to hear the new musics every year. They get creative with those as well.
They do get creative with them. They used to be real music.
Yes.
When I was a freshman, Fireball by Pitbull was routine 6, which was very fun.
I wish we had that when I was on the team. So it looks like CBU called routine 8, the highest level. Cal Poly needs a timeout to think about what they want to do.
They'll probably put it out there, but in tumbling, especially if they're calling the higher level routines, you have the same 7 girls that are going out there. And so this is a breather. So if they want to put out the best routine 8 that they can, they're going to give those girls a break. They always save these timeouts to take one during quarter 3.
Yeah, that was also always very strategic for Cal Poly. Was we usually had smaller teams because we couldn't recruit. A lot of us were in almost every routine, or you'd be in every tumbling routine or every partner set routine. So you would get very tired in the quarter. So we do reserve those timeouts just to take a breather.
Yeah, mentally prepare. There's going to be some cartwheel fulls that we see here, some 2 to fulls, so get in the right headspace.
Here we're starting out with those cartwheel fulls. Now 2 to fulls.
A little step on CBU side. Big timing difference there for those whip throws.
And this is an Arabian through to full, which is one of the hardest skills we have tumbling-wise. Very good Arabian through to fulls on both sides. As an official, 8 is always one of the harder ones to score just because there's so much going on. So many tumbling passes, so many difficult passes.
Yeah.
The team score is now Lancers 19 and Mustangs 7. And now presenting Mustang Band's featured colors, Sabrina
I would have thought it would have been a little bit closer than just a CBU, but you know, when you're up there in the officials box, they are actually at the very top of the bleachers, and so sometimes they're probably going to see some stuff that we can't see. We're sitting right down here on the floor, so.
For sure, very different point of view from the officials today.
Ooh, here we have one of our twirlers. They perform at the football games, and so it's a super special treat to have them here at our stunt stampede today. Shout out to Jillian Corsa out there in Nashville these days. The whole Corsa family is actually together this weekend. One thing about the Cal Poly program is I think we can both attest that the foundation and friendships that we built in that program, they are still my best friends to this day.
100%. Yeah, I'm here with 3 of my alumni friends this weekend. One of them was one of my old roommates, and 2 of my old roommates and one of our other friends, all from the team. We're all actually going to Europe together this summer, so we got big trips planned.
Our cheer friend group is also going to Europe this year.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to Spain. Where are you going?
Spain, Italy, and Greece.
When are you going?
Late August.
We are going early August. We are just going to miss each other, but look at that.
But yeah, even I'll say my mom was on the Cal Poly cheer team 30 years before I was.
She was.
And she is still friends with the friends that she made. They go on girls' trips all the time. They were just in Scottsdale a month ago.
How fun.
They do girls' trips with that group twice a year. They all live different states, all over the place, even 30 years later.
Yeah, I just got married this year, and oh gosh, how many cheerleaders were my bridesmaids? 6, I think, maybe?
Wow.
Maybe 7.
Definitely a close-knit team.
Yes. All right, we're heading into quarter 4. There are a lot of points up for grabs right now. Oh, I can't forget to shout out Lauren Corsa as well.
Okay, we're going into quarter 4, which is the team routine.
The technique in these lower level routines is so satisfying to watch from teams like these two.
For sure.
All right, here come our tumblers. Very sharp routines for partner stunts from both teams.
Nice hyperextended jumps from both teams as well. That's something that officials really look for in these lower level routines.
And pyramids. CBU has such a big team. Their entire tumbling 1 went off the floor and is not in pyramid 1.
Yes. When you recruit and you have a big team, it would be ideal to do it like that, so you give everybody a breather.
Beautiful baskets.
As I was saying before, this is one of the lower level pyramids, so this will feature a lot of high school level skills. That's another thing is really good teams at Stunt, they perfect the lower levels. They know that routine 1 is just as important as routine 8. It's worth the same amount of points. You don't get any points for doing the more difficult routines, any more points than you get doing the lower level routines. So, you know, teams that are really good and elite, they know that routine 1 and 2 just as important as 7 and 8, and they know they got to perfect those before they push to work on harder things.
100%. And especially if games go into overtime too, you're going to see lower level routines being done. And so,
yes,
you know, one minor deduction could really change the outcome of a game.
Yep. That's another fun fact is I believe Cal Poly has never lost an overtime game.
Still.
Yes, we had 3 overtime games, all at nationals when I was on the team. We won all of them. And I believe they've had...
Very cool. President Armstrong
had,
just walked by to say hi.
Yes. I believe that they've had 2 overtime games since I graduated. One last year against Vanguard at the Stunt Stampede that they won. Wow, we got a tie there for Cal Poly on that pyramid.
Routine 7, I really enjoy this routine a lot. And again, here we're going to call a timeout because they just did one. They put a lot of energy into using very good technique, making sure they're very, very sharp. And we have this upper level routine coming up, so it's a lot harder. So athletes are going to be able to take a breather, take a break, mentally recharge, and prepare for this.
Yep.
I'm curious to see which stunt group Cal Poly puts out here because there's 2 groups that can do 7.
Yeah. a lot of times teams will have multiple groups, and sometimes it's just whoever's having a good day, really feeling it, whoever's really on that day, you know, they get to go out. And there was even sometimes where we'd have one team go out in quarter 1 and another team would go out in quarter 4, or if we had multiple games in a day, it might switch one game to the next. So you gotta constantly be ready.
And again, that goes back to being on such a small team.
Yes.
So if we could find someone to sub in, we would use it.
Yes, that is for sure. Another fun fact, when Cal Poly won nationals in 2023, we only had 22 athletes. 16 is the minimum. So
Brenna was working hard.
Yes.
Brenna was on that team.
Yes, I was on that team. We were all working hard.
Yeah. When I was on the stunt team, we only got to go to nationals once.
Wow.
Yeah, because the second year that we made it to nationals was, well, that's actually not true. So I guess it was 2019 that we went to nationals, and then 2020 we didn't even get a chance to go for it.
Yes. They have, with the growth of the sport, they have been expanding nationals a lot, so a lot more teams have been going, which is nice. More opportunities for everybody.
Oh yeah, so this is a different stunt group than they had out for 8 for Cal Poly's side. CBU, this is the same stunt group. I would like to say number 32 is a freshman.
So is the main base and the back spot.
Yes,
So
yes.
we've got a almost full freshman group out there for
Yeah.
Cal Poly.
Emma Ostrank is that side base right there. She is
Senior, yeah.
she's a senior, yeah.
She is holding it down in that group. She's also one of our premier tumblers on the team. She's in a lot of tumbling routines.
Yes, yeah. Oh, fall there.
You can see, yep, number 24 staying on the mat for tumbling 7. That tuck, back handspring tuck, is also a new skill and stunt this year. Nice round up back handspring fulls all around.
Very pretty. A little timing difference here. Ooh.
I love this beginning of Pyramid 7.
I do too. It looks so scary as a middle layer, watching this top coming right at your head. Oh, a good save over there on Cal Poly's side. Get a lot of full baskets coming our way too. Those ending instructors were very good.
Yes, nice rewind onto A-frame.
I loved that, a rewind to A-frame. It honestly, I think it looks a lot harder than it is.
I agree. We did have rewinds to 111 or skinny when I was on the team.
Those are hard.
Yes, I would say those
Very
are
hard.
harder than to A-frame.
Yes. Yeah, something about having 2 middle layers going for those legs is
Yes.
just so much easier to place them.
Yep.
I think my junior year on the team, we had rewind to skinny for our highest
Yes.
level routine, whatever number it was, because it kept
I'll say
changing.
yes.
Like Brenda said earlier, these upper level routines, because there's so much going on, and they may not always be as close to perfect as our lower level routines. There will be more feet apart, and there will be, you know, maybe a little bobble or a step, and so it takes a lot longer for them to officiate these.
Wow, within 2 on Pyramid 7.
That is pretty cool.
That is very cool. That is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
When you're going against the Lancers.
Yeah, CBU is the
Premier.
near perfection team.
Yes.
They are really as close as you can get. those handstands. We've also gotten really creative with adding hurdler into tumbling skills. I remember the first time I did a hurdler to a back tuck, and I was thrown for a loop. So a hurdler to a back handspring seems.
Yes, they've gotten all very creative with the skills this year. Lots of back handspring step outs, a lot more whip passes that incorporate whips this year.
And Arabians are still newer. I think they had them last year, didn't they?
Yes, 8 is a repeat, so that Arabian skill was used last year.
But that is newer in this sport.
Yes. You know, when you have teams like these two super elite teams, you gotta keep making it harder because, you know, eventually, if everybody gets perfect, we just gotta keep making things harder. So.
Yeah, and the creativity of still having to do a newer skill or a new connection and learning how to do it and do it sharp and do it with the right technique, it is still that challenge, which we talked about earlier, that we both loved the challenge of this sport.
For sure. Yeah, I remember even some of the lower level routines when we would get them new, even though it wasn't necessarily a hard skill, it would be difficult to make it look beautiful, and like it was easy for us and pretty. So even though we, you know, it was a lower level skill in routine 1, 2, or 3, it was that challenge of making it look perfect.
Oh yeah, you're cleaning routine 1 all the way through every single practice, and you're running it every practice just to make sure it's still clean. And if it's not, GMA let us know.
Yep.
We never stopped doing those lower level routines until they were near perfect. And I know CBU does the same thing.
Yep. One thing about CBU's coach Brandon is he keeps that same intensity throughout the game, whether they're up by 20 points, 2 points, whether it's quarter 4 routine 8, whether it's tumbling 1, he has his same energy, his same intensity 24/7.
Oh, and his expectations for his athletes too. And I think, you know, it's very clear that they all are, as a collective unit, they know where their expectations are and where they need to be as athletes.
Definitely.
Quarter 4-8. You don't always get to see this called in a game, so I do get really excited when this gets called.
Yes. And that was a good quarter 4 call for Cal Poly calling too. They did get a good amount of points.
Yeah, they got 2 points out of that.
So that is one thing that Cal Poly does
3
pride
points
ourselves on.
Yeah.
Is smart calls.
Yes, very strategic.
Nice front handspring 1.5 up on CBU.
Oh, good save. Cal Poly fell on that in quarter 1.
Yes.
That was a strategy call right there for them to not do that pull around.
Yes, also new this year, a fall is worth 6 deduction points and a modification is only worth 4. So
Really?
It is better to modify than it is to try and fall, which didn't used to be the case. That is new this year. So
that changes the game.
It does. So modifying is the smarter way to go often.
Cal Poly did have a modified cartwheel full at the beginning over there.
Yes. Nice stuck Arabian through to full by Ava, number 3 on Cal Poly.
And number 3 is such a good number, isn't it, Britta?
Yes, Jamie and I were both actually number 3. Fun fact. Cal Poly is forfeiting this pyramid. Nice beginning from CBU.
They do this pyramid so well. It is really a treat to watch them do this.
Nice high basket in the center.
This shotgun full is so fast. That flyer, Top has to crank it around.
Fun fact number 20 is actually the reigning D1 Athlete of the Year for stunt.
And I can see why.
Yes, her name's Maddie. Yeah, very talented. She did that ball X full in the center, that basket and that ending. She's also in a lot of their tumbling routines.
Yeah,
Very
no, that is a
talented.
stunt athlete right there.
Yes.
This was actually my first time seeing that ending structure of 8 in person. I've seen a multiple times in videos and on the screens, on live streams, and let me tell you, sitting right here watching that go, that is fast.
You ready to be up there mid in that, Jamie?
So bad.
Let's put you in.
That looks so fun. That's okay.
I have to think that would be a little bit of a scary one for a mid, just because it's a lot flying at you.
It's a lot flying at you, especially learning it. You've got to be fearless up there.
That's a total score of 35-20.
35-13 is not a bad score against CBU.
Yes, Cal Poly played CBU earlier this year and did not score as many as 13 points, so this is an improvement. I believe this is the most points we have ever scored on CBU with this new scoring system, so we do have the home field advantage here.
Oh yeah, that always makes a, this is the gym that the stunt team practices in, so this Mott energy is, they're right there in it all day.
Yep, we call it the Mott Magic.
Mott Magic. All right, well, thanks for joining us for this Mustangs versus Lancers game, and we'll be back for the 6 p.m. game.
Yes, Cal Poly versus ASU. Everybody tune in.